Opinions Unqualified. Now you got just a performance there by Sammy on the Boomwhackers. Sammy, thanks for bringing the Boomwhackers in.
Mate, how good are they?
Oh, man, I was actually impressed. Do you know what the most impressive thing about them is?
How colourful they are?
Yeah, the colours. The colours are impressive.
Well, that's what makes it easy. That's how you teach the people to play it. Because when that comes on your YouTube video, it's just like it comes up with the colour, so you don't need to worry about what you're doing.
I like it. I was actually, because I tried them, and I wasn't hitting them hard enough.
Yeah,
you got to whack them too. It's
there's a bit of a knack to it.
There is. I was actually really, really impressed that you could just owned it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, because I was going to say, show me something. You're like, nah, I'll just do it. I love it. That's confidence right there.
So I may have spent a little bit of time on them the last couple of days.
Yeah, I reckon on Friday night, come into the shed, bring the Boomwhackers, get the guitar out. We'll have the Sean turn here. We'll have a couple of bevos, and we'll jam.
I'll bring the
jump kit
ukulele.
here. Yeah, bring the ukulele. Sean can do the bevos.
Sean can play. Oh, you're going to bring your electric.
I'll bring my electric.
Yeah, all right. Let's ration. All right, so obviously the first question we have, and you can probably notice that our voices, they're a bit higher octane today. There's a lot more energy today because we have a female in the room. There's a door that's open. No. Yep. We've closed it. All right. I think she's safe because she is the current Opinions Unqualified world champion of karate, and someone that obviously had a highly affected year by COVID because of the level of athlete she is. But we're very, very, very happy to have Liv here with us today. So welcome, Liv.
Thanks, guys, for having me on.
Yeah, very excited to have you, and it's something we've been talking about since you said yes. It's probably as excited as you saying yes as my wife when she said yes when I asked her to marry me, to be honest. So I'm very happy to have you here. Usually what we get into straight away is weekends, but we might go a 30-second challenge. All right, so the first thing, the 30-second challenge is you got to tell us about yourself in 30 seconds.
Okay, that's
ready?
Pressure.
Sean Turner, you ready to count down?
I'm ready.
All right, Sean Turner's ready.
Alexa.
Alexa's going to count down. All right, and go.
I'm Olivia Clifford. I'm 20 years old. I'm current Australian, Oceanian and Commonwealth champion. I've represented Australia for 5 years now, and I'm a current nursing student at Notre Dame.
All right, now tell us something interesting.
I have a German Shepherd named Ajax.
Ooh.
He's my best friend.
I like that. I do like that. Was that 30 seconds?
5 more seconds.
So much pressure.
She's stoked to be on the pod.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I love it. German Shepherd named Ajax.
Ajax Spray and White makes everything all right.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
true.
That's the name.
I love dogs. I do. I love dogs. I had this dog. It was a mongrel, so it was crossed with everything. It was like I don't know if there's German Shepherd in it, but it was like a black lab crossed with like a border collie.
A Heinz.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and it was the most amazing, protective, beautiful dog, and it used to sleep on the house, and they used to come. Yeah, I love it. Anyway, I miss it. So thank you for mentioning your dog, Sammy. Do you like dogs?
Yeah. I think you can't, you can't not like dogs, can you? Like, if you don't like dogs, then I don't know.
Then you're a cat person, and well, you're not a great person.
Whoa.
Yeah, I love it.
Savagery.
Yeah, so if you're a cat person, you're not a good person.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So weekend. So we're going to get into that weekend talk. Now, the reason I want to get into the weekend talk is because I did something super interesting. And like I wasn't expecting it to be interesting, but I've got some advice first. So if you are going to the new museum, now the exciting thing about the new museum in Perth is that for the next 18 months you can go in for free, and it was like a $4 billion upgrade. It's a massive upgrade. The premise is beautiful. Obviously, it's super interactive. But my bit of advice is if you have a 14-month-old daughter, the museum is not conducive to a good time. Not at all. She wants to walk, she wants to touch everything, she wants to get around. So my advice is don't take a 14-month-old. Do you guys, just a quick question, completely unqualified, but do you think $4 billion is too much money to spend on a museum?
Probably no.
and the reasoning behind that?
Only because it's like stuff that's dated back so long, and artifacts would take a long time, obviously, to be able to get them and things like that. You'd be asking, like, you'd want to be importing them from interstate or overseas and stuff like that. So, I don't know, it costs pretty much what it would be worth, I guess.
I guess, Sam, can you put a price on history?
Would you bring in the Mona Lisa?
I'm telling you now, that is the biggest waste of time in my life. But anyway, it's tiny. It is absolutely tiny. Have you seen the Mona Lisa, Liv?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. What did you think when you're going in? It's going to be this huge, massive painting.
Yeah, preconceived idea of it, and then walked in and I was like, oh, okay. It's quite small.
Yeah, it's tiny, isn't it?
And hundreds of people packed in a room just to get a photo of it being 30 centimetres by 20 or something like that. Ridiculous.
Yeah, and the thing that's hilarious is that it says no photography, and every single person there is taking a picture of this. So what are you going to do? You're going to kick out 1,000 people that are in here just to look at this tiny little picture. But yeah, anyway, I love museums, and I've always loved museums. And a couple of the really exciting things about Perth's new upgraded museum is there's live exhibits in there, and it's super interactive. Like, you can go in there, you can play with things, you can touch things, and I think if you want to keep kids engaged and wanting to be involved in history, you need to have things that kids can do, and I think they've done a really good job of that. We did about there's 4 levels, so it's ground plus 1, 2, and 3. We did about 70% of the 3rd level because that's the wildlife one. Then we left. It took us about an hour, so you could spend a full day in there and read and experience, and that's without even reading everything. So my advice is to go and have a look. Do you guys have any museum stories?
No. Not really. I think like I probably have been to a few museums, but not like massive memories.
I've got one. Now, I was working for an airline for a while. We won't disclose who they are because they don't want to sponsor us, so screw them. So we had this massive function in Chicago. So it was a launch. Their airline started flying to Chicago, and we were the first flight flying in from the Middle East. I won't say which one. It's the Middle Eastern airline. And then we had at the Natural Museum there, we had our gala dinner there that night, and in the middle of the room there was this skeleton of a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and it was probably the most impressive thing I've ever seen. So you can imagine all these dinner tables set up, celebrities, and then little old me just sitting there in my little suit and tie feeling pretty special, and this massive dinosaur there, and they allowed you to walk around. But it's probably the most spectacular setting I've ever had, sort of any sort of event, and I've been to a few, but it was pretty special. So yeah, when you travel, do you go to museums?
Yes and no. I try to, as much as possible, see. We only get like 2 or 3 days in between competition before or after, and those 3 days I'm either catching up with friends and getting to see as much as I can in those times. So I've been to a couple, Prague and things like that, but yeah, not a huge amount that I'd like to see.
So I guess the next question, Sammy, is I'll ask you first, is what's the toughest fight you've ever been in, Sam? And where were they from?
As you know, I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah.
I'm big on that, and I do know my place. Whether that's because I've got an older brother, so I've kind of learnt my place early, or whether just my love conquers all.
Love conquers all, Sammy.
But I actually don't have any fight stories, to be honest with you, because I don't no.
All right, so obviously the reason I ask is because Liv is fights for, I guess, for your living, for yeah. So what is your toughest fight you've been in, and where were they from? Were they Australian or were they from overseas?
Definitely from overseas, and she is world number 2.
Yep.
Her name is on the top of my head, and I can't remember it right now.
Hopefully she's not listening. Otherwise she's
yeah,
going to take it personally.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Ayumi Asaka, she's from Japan, and she by far is amazing. And luckily we came to a draw at the end of the fight, and it came down to judge's decision, which I was obviously pretty disheartened to not win it, being like one of the youngest Australians there, and the youngest in the competition series at that time, and to lose at a draw with her was pretty hard to swallow, but also an amazing achievement for me at 19 at the time when I fought her.
Wow, that's incredible. What's it like kicking someone in the head?
Concentration, I think, is the word that I think of.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't want to take somebody's head off, but you...
Oh, I would. I'm kicking someone in the head. I'm kicking them in the head.
But yeah, it's fair amount of hit that power that you're trying to hit with, but at the same time, you're not trying to take their head off.
Is that like high risk, high reward?
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yep.
if your competitor or you say move an inch, you're going to take that person's head off and you'll knock them out straight, and you've got to be really precise about it when you're hitting them.
So if you knock someone out in competition, is that frowned upon?
Yeah, instant disqualification.
Whoa.
Yeah. on the
So
tournament.
we were having a chat before we started here, and I think like it's a fight sport, and well, if to win a fight, you knock them out. Like, that's the way I see it. So is it? I think it'll be harder not to hit someone hard than to hit someone hard.
Exactly. Like I've had a lot of stories and stuff in the dojo where I'm training and I've hit partners, like training partners, quite hard, and I've gone, oh, I've stuffed up here, and like I've given them blood noses, I've scratched eyes, you name it, anything, and I've gone, oh god, I can't do that. So it's a lot of control that you spend hours and hours of doing only, like say, one technique,
Yep.
just to train that you're not going to hit them that hard enough, but hard enough so they definitely feel it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All that stuff's like self-defense though, isn't it?
Yes and no. How I explain karate, competition karate, is very much so. It's a lot like a cross of MMA, but tone it down by like 70%. Like you can do throws, you can do punches, you've got kicks, you've got everything like that in MMA, but professional tag almost.
Yeah, right. Will you be going to the UFC?
No, I like my face too much. I don't want to break into nose or jaw or anything like that.
That's fair.
Yeah. I'll live with that. I think I said if you're in it, I think it takes a lot of skill, a lot of talent, a lot of timing. How do you so if you can't hit people, it's not about strength, it's about speed, it's about timing. How do you improve? How do you know you're getting better in a sport like that?
I guess it's like comes down to what we call as mat tactics and experience. So you can be so good at not hitting a person to a certain extent of hurting them, but knowing where to control them in like what we call as a tatami, which is essentially a 10 by 10 meter mat that you fight on. And you got to move them around to different sections of where you can kick them and punch them that a referee is going to stop the fight and be like, oh, okay, I'm going to award the point here because that was a perfect technique. Versus if you do it in a stuffed spot where they can't see it, they're not going to award it and it's a wasted technique. So it comes down to experience of constantly fighting like that. And you've got different fighters who can take a hit a lot harder and not be affected, and referees are like, oh, that wasn't it wasn't a good enough punch or kick, so you've got to hit them a bit harder. You've got to adjust to every single fight to different fighters. Like if I'm fighting in Australia, I'm punching probably like 60% as to what I would be in Europe and competing overseas, because not to be rude, but the girls can't take hits like that that you do in Australia versus internationally.
Yeah. So we're tougher out here. Is that what you're saying?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Depending on different weight categories, I guess.
I'm pissed off a little bit, Sam.
Why is that?
Bruce Lee lied to me. Because Bruce Lee's a karate guy.
You are
Yeah.
water.
Yeah, you are water. That's it. Yeah. What is Bruce Lee's favourite drink?
Water.
Water! So that's our first joke of the day. Yeah, so that's a good one.
It's a frequent joke.
Yeah. Have you ever knocked anyone's teeth out?
No?
Broken someone's bone?
Yes.
Ooh. What was that?
I've broken 2 noses. I've broken someone's thumb, and I've broken probably 5 or 6 ribs on people.
What about you?
Ribs are good.
What's
Me?
been broken on you?
Oh God, that's a frequent.
A lot?
I tend to break things all the time of my own stupid accord. That's the worst thing about it. I've broken almost all of my fingers in both my hands, my toes. Probably my biggest one was I dislocated my kneecap, and from there my femur came down and hit the top of my tibia and broke a piece of the top of the tibia off. But I kept fighting for another 6 weeks straight on it without realising that I'd done it.
Yeah.
So that was interesting.
So it mustn't have hurt much.
I mean, yeah.
Water off.
Yeah. Suck it up, Liv, basically, is what I got told. So, yeah.
Okay. Do you get in this? Probably the last question I have about this is, because you ever got training partners and sparring partners and whatnot?
Yeah.
You know, so say you guys are at dinner
Yes.
and there's one dim sim left. Yeah. And then she takes that dim sim or he takes that dim sim and you're just angry.
Fight's on.
Yeah.
100%.
So the next time you're in the gym, do you deliberately hurt them?
I mean, I'm not going to say no and I'm not going to say yes, but definitely the punches might be a little bit more harder than you would expect them to be.
So you heard it here first. Don't mess with a dim sim.
Don't take my food and we're fine.
So I did talk about teeth a little bit. Sam, why did I talk about teeth?
My teeth are hurting extremely. Not that I can feel them at the moment, but yeah, they've been painful. My wisdom teeth.
Man, that sucks. I've still got both my wisdom teeth. I feel so fortunate because I know so many people that have gone through that process of having wisdom teeth taken, and for me, I haven't. So what's the process? Have you been to a dentist?
No. The funny thing is, so probably about a year ago I went to the dentist. Tells you about my dental hygiene. It's not good. But they said I should get my wisdom teeth out, and I was like, oh, that's alright, it's not hurting too much. Then, obviously I've got copious amounts of time recently. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to go get my wisdom teeth out. I'm going to do all this and that. And I started putting it out there to the universe. And then one of my teeth decided to act up. And now it's, yeah. So
Not
Wednesday.
a great situation.
Yeah, Wednesday. Can't wait.
Right, so we're going to get into some personal things here. So when I was younger, when I say mid-20s, fairly like athletic, young, good at things, I used to go to the dentist every year. So I'm talking pre-kids. Dentist every year, I'd get a clean, I'd get a checkup, and I'd do all that sort of stuff. As soon as those kids come along, I haven't been in years. Like, I have not been to the dentist, and I'm fortunate. I look after my teeth, I floss, I brush, I use mouthwash, I do the right things, but it's not something that I don't go to the dentist. Whereas I used to go every single year. So, how often, Liv, do you go to the dentist?
Ooh, probably like once or twice a year, because mainly we have to get our mouth guards refit, and they'll do a checkup anyway, so it's pretty good for us.
Okay.
2 for 1.
Yeah,
the
2 for 1
deal.
It's a good deal. Take it while we can.
Now, I think you get to a point where I'm afraid to go back now. So I used to have really nice teeth, and the dentist, every time I went in, they'd be like, oh, your teeth are beautiful, I love your teeth. And now I haven't been for a while. I'm afraid I'm going to go in, they're going to say, your teeth are terrible, you need to do this, you need to do that. But I think, while they're not hurting, they're fine. You know, and did cavemen ever get there? They go to a dentist?
Just pull them out.
Yeah, just pull that bad boy out if it hurts. Exactly. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I was talking to someone the other day, and they were so proud because they got new teeth, and I'm like, man, how do you get new teeth? Like, seriously.
You're telling me that you wouldn't get a gold gold cap? Gold tooth.
I've got a chip tooth, and it's like a little different because it's actually the tooth has come off the front, and I've had veneer on it, I've had caps on it, I've done so many different things, spent so much money on trying to get this thing covered and fixed that I'll just get to a point now where nothing's going to stay on. The only way that I'm going to fix this thing is they pull it out and put a fake one in. But I'd rather have my real tooth, even if it is a little discoloured, to be honest. So, yeah. But I don't want a gold one, no, Sam. I wouldn't mind a gold chain. I don't need a gold one. Yeah. Anyway, so we're going to do a little bit of dental hygiene there. I wanted to. Now, the reason and we'll talk about Sam's weekend in a minute, but I had a pretty good weekend because I was so sober. It was actually quite sad. I went to cricket on Sunday. When I say cricket, I went to 11-year-old boy cricket, and I was very proud because Kyan, who's been a regular on our show, was fantastic. He got a wicket with his first bowl, got a couple of wickets, scored some runs, didn't get out. It was super solid. But that game is the most boring game on earth. Like, seriously, and I don't mind. Say that, like me, the Sean Turn and Sammy wanted to go to a day of a test, and we could sit there, get the 4X, and just have a day of it. Like, that's good because you're not there for the cricket. Let's be honest, you're there for the lads. So you enjoy that. You're there with the lads. You're having a good time, and you might see someone hit a 6, and you're like, oh yeah, that was sick. But it's highly likely you're not going to even see that. So, what's the point? So cricket, Sam. I know Tezza. My mate Tether. Hey Terry, I love you, mate. I know you love your cricket, but yeah, what is the and we might get into ask a question that the Sean Turn brought up earlier, but what is the appeal of cricket, Liv?
Well, see, I've played cricket all through high school and stuff, so I loved the game. So I watch it quite frequently. Christmas test matches, everything.
Well, I think playing it is different. So if we decided on Boxing Day we wanted to get together, few eskies, 2 teams,
The old wheelie
$5
bin.
in, wheelie me in, we're having a game of cricket and we'll get competitive with it. That's fun. But to sit there and watch the person you're supporting standing in the field, the ball doesn't go there for 4 overs. Like, that ain't fun.
It's all about the experience. You got to take it in.
No, I get that. And you know what? Like, I love that other people have kids and create people. But I'm not there to watch your kids. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and at the highest level, I understand watching the Australian cricket team play or whatever. Sam's got a different take on this. I'm really interested in hearing this. But, like, man, I'm not there to see your kids, man. Like, I'm there to see my kid play, you know?
Just want to see my kid hit the
Yeah.
ball.
Yeah, that's why basketball's good and footy's good and, like, they're active. They're always
involved.
doing something, yeah. Whereas... And I had an interesting thought. So, say you field first. Your team fields first. You bowl. You know, they get a target. And then you're batting at number 2 or 3. And then you get out. You have no impact on that game from that point.
Yeah, you just got to sit there.
You got to sit there and take it. Whatever that team gives you, you take it. Like, for me, I'm like, that'd kill me. That would absolutely kill me. The fact that I couldn't influence a game when it was still on the line, like it's winnable. Yeah. But anyway, Sam, tell us about your cricket escapades.
I was actually fielder of the year in my one season of cricket.
Nice. Does that mean you can't bat a ball?
No, that means that my mitts are enormous, so I'm good at catching cricket balls.
Okay. Yep.
Also,
they are enormous mitts.
Also did have a spectacular run out that I'll never forget. Also, just to let everyone know that I have a natural wrong'un. Well, I had one when I was younger,
Yep.
which Dad used to froth because I don't know. Apparently, that's good. But anyway, in my last game when I was playing cricket, my best mate said, "You know what? Like, just bowl your leggies." You know, because I was a little bit self-conscious to bowl leggies, so I just bowled little like medium paces, just make sure it's on the wickets. So I did leggies, and then I bowled a leggy, bowled this dude beautifully.
Shane Warnlight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the coach of that team was like doing the wicket, like the umpiring, and he's like, "Mate, like you've got a really good like leg spin. Like, what are you gonna do with it?" I'm like, "Mate, this is my last game, mate." But yeah, backyard cricket's good. Going down to watch, we did a cricket. What do we call it? Day at the cricket where bulk rubbish was out. We all got couches from bulk rubbish and a couple of eskies and just went and supported some random Edgewater team down at the park, which was a great hit with the people there because they'd probably never had more than 5 fans at a game. So, but yeah, that's my take.
See, that sounds like my sort of time though. So I would do that, like, because you're sitting there on these grotty, bloody bug-filled couches,
Yeah,
watching random people play cricket, but it's about the beers with the boys.
exactly.
It's just about the experience.
Mm.
Like, I despise cricket. I hate it.
Yep.
But I would actually go do that as well with you, Sam. And you've seen me play cricket as well. I'm dreadful.
You are terrible.
I can't even bat. Like,
Very-
I hold the cricket bat like a baseball.
You are
bat.
very
I've got more of a
un-Australian.
chance. Yeah.
I had I've played one game of like senior cricket in my life. So when you're a kid, you play cricket and you muck around or whatever. So I played one game because I had some mates that I played football with, who had a cricket team and they were short for the weekend or whatever. Now my thoughts are: you're filling in for a team, you're doing them a favour. You give the bloke an over at least the bowl, and you put him in a reasonable position to bat. Well, it was an absolute joke. I'm there fielding the whole day. Didn't give me an opportunity to have a single ball. So I was a little bit annoyed with that. It was like they're playing for sheep stations or something at C-grade cricket. Come on, guys. So I was a little annoyed with that. And then I went to bat, and it's not like bloody, Oz cricket or whatever it is. I got bowled first ball, and I had to leave. I was like, this is the work. Maybe I don't like cricket because I'm terrible at it as well, but, I just felt like that was super unfair.
Heartbreaking experience right there.
Yeah, it broke my heart. But I think I'd watch a game of baseball over a game of cricket.
Disagree.
That's good. That's all. Yeah. Because I'm a Cubs fan. When the Cubs won the World Series, I was so stoked. Yeah. And I've been to Wrigley Field, and like for me, that's like massive, experience. But I've seen the Ashes Test as well, and that was pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just prefer basketball over both of them.
Now that I'd agree with you on.
Yeah.
Basketball's a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the reason I probably prefer baseball as well is because it's generally shorter games, and then I've also just had really good experiences with it. So like where I was in Pennsylvania, we had like a semi-pro team, and we would go there, and it would be Buck Night every Monday that we would play. So it'd be $1 beers, $1 hot dogs, and you're there with all your college mates just watching a few hours of baseball.
Well, you weren't watching baseball.
You
let's
weren't,
be
but
honest.
you know, it's just a good experience. So I think that's why I started liking baseball more than cricket.
Yeah, and the thing with baseball, when they get up and they sing the songs and, you know, they're quite active, like it's actually an event more than like you go to the cricket. Cricket's the sort of game where you sit down, you throw your legs up and you just wait for the day to end. Yeah. Anyway, I've got, so...
Wait, before that,
Yeah.
what's your best cricket sledge?
My cricket.
Yeah,
Oh.
you got any cricket sledges?
Oh, let me think on that. You played cricket, so you got to give us
what
one.
do you-
Yeah. We need a sledge.
Oh God, no!
You don't have
Don't
it.
put me on the spot.
You got more blocks than a Lego set. You got more leaves than a tree.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's my
I like that one. Yeah. I like that one.
You know what? I'll give you my best sledge, right?
Yeah.
I was batting one time. Super fast bowler, so I was shitting it, right? So I was standing like well away from the wickets, right? And then a few times like he bowled like next to the wickets, and like the keeper was getting into me a bit, like saying, you know, like. And I turned around to him. I said, "Mate, your fast bowler can't even bowl it at the wickets because I'm nowhere near him. Like I'd be out like 5 balls ago if your mate could bowl straight. Like I'd just get me out of here."
That's a good sledge.
Yeah.
I like the leaves one though.
Yeah.
You got more leaves than a tree. Yeah, I quite like that one.
I like that one.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I don't have any cricket sledges because I was terrible. So if I sledged anyone, I was just gonna
Cop
get
it
yeah. I've heard some pretty good sledges on in other sports, but yeah. Well, that'll be another conversation. Do you get sledged at tournaments?
Not so much. It's not so much sledging. Girls are kind of... You get that ultimate bitch stare. I
Yeah.
feel. That's about it, to be honest. You've got to be able to serve it back quite quickly as well.
Do you have to practice like an intimidation face?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Can we
It's all
take a
that.
photo of that and put it on our social media?
I mean, it's not pretty, but yeah,
That's
sure.
all right, let's do it. Let's take it now.
I
Look at
can't
the
do it
camera.
right now because I'm cracking up
Yeah.
laughing.
All right, we'll do it after. We'll get it. We're gonna get it.
Just
So,
imagine Nixie's talking smack from the side.
yeah. That's it. You kick like a girl. That would be the best sledge ever. Then she kicks you in the face. I love it. All right, I heard some good dad jokes. All right, the first one's about dogs, and you mentioned dogs.
Yes.
Yeah. So, why are dogs terrible dancers?
Why?
Because they have 2 left feet. So I think that was cool. And do you know where I got that joke? On Amazon at the moment, there's this documentary called All or Nothing. Now, the reason I'm watching that is Jose Mourinho is in it. It's the Tottenham Hotspurs. And I'm not a big soccer fan, but I love Jose Mourinho. And some of the players were sitting at a table just eating their lunch, and one of them told that joke. And I was like, yeah, that's a sick joke. So
I'll
yeah.
take that one.
Yeah, I like that. So, best dad joke, Sam, go.
Alexa told me this today. Why was the beach sand wet?
Why?
Because the seaweed.
See, I like that. I love it when you go to like Google Alexa and you say, tell us a joke.
Yeah, it's I was doing it today for quite a while. I'm not gonna lie. I was just me and my brother were sitting there because I just got the Fire Stick thing and just testing out what it could do and just listen to it tell us some jokes. But some of them are pretty like abysmal. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, well, on the weekend, so we're talking about the weekend before, I stayed up all night wondering where the sun went, and then it dawned on me. I got that one from Flea. Well done, Flea. Good work. All right, so my cousin does one of the things she does with her daughter is she sends her a dad joke every day because she's a teenage daughter and she hates it. So I've been getting them now since I saw her. So I think that's hilarious. So I appreciate that. Sammy,
Yes.
what'd you have for dinner?
Soup.
Yeah, me too.
Well, actually, no. I had lasagna, but I had soup for lunch and then dinner yesterday.
So what soup did you have?
I had sweet potato and pumpkin soup with like mixed beans.
Is that like a creamed soup?
Unclear on
Yeah, so is it
what
like
kind of-
mashed up?
Is
So
it
is it?
mashed up?
Is it?
Yeah, it was thick.
Yeah, thick. A thick soup. That's like a
Yeah,
cream soup.
thick.
Yeah. So I guarantee there's cream in that.
Yes.
Guarantee it. Yeah. Liv, soup. In 5 words.
Best winter food ever.
It's 3 words.
Ever. Best.
Ever?
Ever. Yeah.
No, that's 5 words. Best winter food ever.
Ever. Take it.
Okay. So why winter food? And why is soup good for winter?
Warms you up.
Okay.
I mean, like, I'm constantly freezing through winter, and soup's my saviour.
Is it winter now?
Yes.
It felt like that today.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really did.
I mean, I rocked up in a puffer jacket.
You did. Yeah, I just thought you were trying to look gangster.
I wish.
Yeah. So I make this chicken soup, and it's a family recipe, and it's chicken and vegetable, big chunky vegetables, and it's a chicken soup. But the best thing in this soup, and I'm going to get back to it. This is why it is the winner of the food bloody vegetable thing: potatoes. So, but the potatoes in this soup are incredible. They're soft. You just can't get better than potatoes in a chicken soup, I don't think. What's the best soup you've ever had, Sam?
When I used to go to Belgium, we used to stay in Ghent with some friends, and there used to be this vegetarian little cafe restaurant thing on the way to the city, or like wherever the main bit. And they used to always have this soup of the day, and it used to always be some whack vegetables put together, but it would always be like legit, and they had the best bread.
Okay. Oh man, bread. Yeah, and that's
Bread
the thing.
with soup.
Bread with soup. But if you have soup without bread, can you get full?
No. Oh.
Yeah.
It takes like 2 or 3 bowls, I feel like.
Yeah. Soup. I can't get full on soup. I cannot get full on soup. So tonight I had soup for dinner, but I had a hot dog on the side. Because you can't get full on soup. Like, no matter what it is, I could have the chunkiest soup in the world, and I cannot get full on it. I could eat a whole bowl of that and still be like, yeah, get me a sandwich. Yeah. You like that, Sam?
Not so much with soup. That's more of like a mussels or like fries, like chips. You know, like little things, but soup I feel like I can get like a good bowl of soup will fill me up.
I'd be interested to see if, like, can we do Sean Turn? Can we do a question this week? Can you get full on soup and see if it's a yes or a no and who wins?
All right,
I'm a clear no, and I feel like Liv's a no.
No, I'm clear yes. 2 or 3 bowls, though. It takes a little while.
So how many bowls for you, Nixie, do you reckon
Yeah.
it'll take?
How many bowls?
Yeah.
7.
Oh.
Yeah. 7 bowls of soup, I reckon. I think that we might have a soup challenge.
Soup challenge.
Yeah, a soup challenge.
Yeah, we do.
And just the viscosity of your feces after soup does it alter it?
I have a needle.
So does it alter it? Because it's a liquid food. So does it alter? Because babies eat like baby food, and it's not solid. So is that, if you eat too much soup, would you end up having?
Is that going to be your poll?
We won't poll that, but it'd be interesting to see the feedback we get from people after listening to this. The viscosity of your feces.
Nixie. You know what's more is your fascination with the word viscosity. You said it in our one beer review that we did as well. I reckon you dropped in the word viscosity about 89 times.
And I was just thinking before, because Sam dropped Belgium again. We should have a drinking comp to see how many times we dropped. I've been to Belgium. Yeah, viscosity and Belgium. I think they're our words. Yeah,
Do you know what viscosity means?
thickness? The thickness? Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's the thickness, the volume. Yeah.
Right.
That's what it means to me. But in my opinion is unqualified, so it could be anything. So yeah, there we go. Probably had enough soup talk, but
Would you like the actual definition?
yep.
Viscosity is defined as the resistance to flow,
Yep.
but is often referred to as thickness. So, yeah, very good.
Yeah, see? Ha ha! Who's a genius? Yeah, anyway, so we're going to move on to like probably more serious talk than soup, just quickly. The Olympic Games were postponed,
Yes.
not cancelled yet.
Yes.
Will they get cancelled?
I think so.
Is that because you're young and you're obviously super confident because you don't get to where you are without being confident.
Yeah.
Are you less concerned with it being cancelled than maybe someone that's, you know, in their late 20s?
Yes and no. It's a hard question to answer. So for the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, or 2021 as they've now postponed it to, karate has its first time debuting in the Olympics. First and last.
Oh.
So that makes it 3 times more difficult. You're hoping that this Olympics is going to go ahead, but if it doesn't, you're out of the Olympics again for Paris in 2024. So it's a bit of a debut with, you've got all this pressure to make the qualifications, and if you make the qualifications, yeah, you're going to the Olympics, but now it's been postponed and potentially will be cancelled if there's no vaccine. So on that, it's a lot of pressure, and then combining your going against 2 other athletes for the same weight category who are a fair bit older than me, in their later 20s and 30s, I will say.
Yeah.
So for me, age isn't a huge thing, but it's the parameters of the Olympics only being the debuting for karate in 2020.
If, like, say the Olympics go ahead and it's the only Olympics that have karate and you win a medal, does that make that medal more valuable than any other medal maybe you win at a World Championships or anything? The fact that it was the only Olympics. So does that become the most important medal maybe in your career?
I'd say yes.
You're going to say and no, like everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's obviously it's not an Olympics, so you're not going if you're the best in Australia. You're going if you're the top 8 in the world. So it's not an Olympics. If you're best in your country, you can go to the Olympics for any sport. But karate, because it's a debut sport, like surfing, like skateboarding, rock climbing, they're only taking the top 8 in the world for each division. So it's a lot more difficult to win a World Championships when you potentially have 8 fights of 122 different countries, depending on what you draw. So it's a yes and a no, because winning an Olympic gold would be amazing. And being I'm the only Australian to ever go, or I've got an Olympic gold for the only sport that's been there for one time, versus going to a World Championships and going, I fought world number 1, I fought world number 2, I fought world number 28. It doesn't matter who it was, but you fought consecutive rounds and had to win by huge amounts to be able to go through forward to win a World Championships. So they're both equally as important to me.
Can you tell us now, do you confidently feel like you could be a world champion in this sport?
Yes.
I love that.
Hey, Nixie, I've already got ideas though, right? So
yeah, you're going to be the world champion speed rock climber.
I have been going bouldering and I have been skateboarding. So there's two that I'm good. No, I was thinking, right. So obviously Mike Tyson had the fight.
Yep.
Right. If the Olympics don't go through, do we have? So me and you will be an undercard.
Yep.
Right, and then Liv and Marcus.
Oh.
Will be the main event.
Oh, Marcus would eat Liv.
No,
he's a monster.
But it's just it'll be wrestling versus karate. Like it would just be a whole.
I mean, I can do groundwork, but I'm not 100% huge fan on wrestling. Yeah. Obviously, we do it in karate, so I could dabble.
Yeah, Marcus, are you going to step up? Or are you...
Marcus has been on the pod, and he's the other elite athlete that we've had, and he is. What I saw him deadlift 250 kilos the other day or something.
Okay, so mine's 120.
Yeah.
So he's got a fair bit on me.
Yeah, he's a big dude. Yeah, but I reckon we could box it out.
We'll do like yeah.
Yeah.
No, you know what we could do? You get those big fat suits.
I don't mean this to sound like I love everyone, but winning a medal on Asian soil in an Asian originating sport, is like, would that be like cooler than say winning something here, or is it just the same because you still got to fight through the same people? I think the crowds would be bigger, and
crowds are completely different.
Yeah.
I mean, Japan alone has their own universities that are actually dedicated for karate itself. Whereas you talk about karate in Australia, and you're like, what is that? Sorry? Huh?
Yeah.
Bruce Lee jokes or like whatever it is,
Damn.
which is fine. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, you mention that here and people are like, oh yeah, what really is that? And they don't really know much about it. Where you go to Japan and their whole culture is built around it. Like you will walk down the streets in Japan and there's businessmen in the streets, nurses and stuff like that. They'll carry to work their karate gis and then go to karate after. It's their life. So it would be worth so much more than winning on Australian soil.
Yeah,
if I'm being
that's
honest.
what I thought as well. Yeah, I think to win it in front of a passionate like crowd, because again, we had a jiu-jitsu tournament at HBF Arena in Joondalup.
Yep, I was there.
Yeah, recently. We had basketball training on the other courts, and yeah, there wasn't many people.
Yeah, exactly. It's not enough recognition in it. I mean, if you look at the other countries who are the top of the table for karate, you've got Turkey, Azerbaijan, and Iran and Japan. They're the top countries, and France. They're funding everything like that. Their supporters in the crowds are huge compared to what we've got in Australia. Maybe you'd get 2,000 people if it was in Australia, compared to you rock up over there. They've got 10 to 20,000 people who rock up just to support you, and they don't even know you. And little kids will come up to you and like they have a photo of you and they ask you to sign it. And they're like, you're walking around Australia, no one knows who I am.
Yeah. But if you're a football star,
Yeah, football star or a cricketer.
yeah, or a cricketer, Yeah. Biggest sacrifice you've made to get to where you are at this point?
Probably would be on my parents. I moved to boarding school at age 11 so I could come down to Perth here and train and represent WA and then on to Australia. Mum and Dad, before I turned 11, would drive 3 times a week down to Perth, which is 4.5 hour commute from my home.
So where's home?
Dongra.
I know Dongra. Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful spot. Yeah,
Beautiful
nice
hometown.
beaches.
Yeah, surfing, crayfishing family, grew up there.
Grays, yes.
Yeah, so yeah, 4.5 hours they drive down just to watch me train for 4 hours and drive all the way back. And yeah, so that's probably one of the biggest things that was for our family, that sacrifice of time going to and from, and then obviously me getting sent away at 11, a long time away from being the only girl in the family, mum's crying and all of that. But yeah, it is what it is, and you sacrifice your time to be able to be good at something, I guess.
Is it worth it?
Yes, I love it. I miss my family, but I love it.
So, I think I could have been a superstar at football, but I found women and beer. So that's a serious conversation to have, because you see so many people go down that path, and the older you get, the more you realise, well, it probably wasn't as important. But do you feel like you've missed out on sort of major teenage
Yes.
experiences because of your commitment to your sport and training? And
I, even still today, I'll get comments from friends and stuff who'll be like, oh, why aren't you coming out tonight? And I'm like, I'm training, I'm not drinking. Or like they'll take the piss out of you almost because you're doing that. And yeah, definitely through high school and stuff like that, I missed my school ball, I missed my school graduation, things like that. I was overseas competing in the World Championships, and I didn't get to go to my graduation party. I didn't go to leavers. I didn't go to anything like that. And then going through to, into uni and things like that, you know, go to house parties and things like that, or you rock up and you're like there for 2 hours, but you zonked because you've been training 5-6 hours and you're just wrecked on top of uni. So yeah, that's definitely a thing. And then dating on top of that, I probably didn't even consider until end of last year, and even then it was a disaster for me.
yeah, I heard you went on a date with a Sean Turner. So that's easily a disaster.
No, not at
It's
all.
not my fault.
And probably like the last question, and I'll throw to Sam for a little. Because you're like a karate champion expert, are your hands legal weapons?
Since the day I turned 12.
Yeah,
Yes.
since the day you turned 12. So if you were to hit someone and something bad was to happen, you could be
Charged. So instead of grievous bodily harm, it goes up to a direct assault straight away.
Wow.
So upgraded.
Oh wait, you actually been serious?
Yeah, being serious. Yeah. Because people like because I know boxers.
Yep,
Once they get a golden gloves, they become
Same thing.
Yeah. So their hands are classed as weapons.
Yeah.
Oh, Nixie,
Yeah.
you got
So-
some weapons?
Yeah, man. I'm carrying
Yeah.
guns. Yeah.
And any sport like that of a martial arts, you are technically not allowed to touch somebody, even if like they're punching you, anything like that, until it's a physical assault and somebody else is there to back you up. or there's visual evidence, you can't. You just have to walk away. Just walk away.
I can't wait to go out with you and call you some things. Sammy.
Yeah, it's about that time, isn't it? Thank you very much, Liv. It's been awesome having you on. I hope you enjoyed it.
Definitely did. Thank you for having me.
Can I ask one more question? And we're going to go into more detail in the future.
Yeah.
Gatorade versus Powerade.
Powerade, 100%.
Yeah.
Gatorade.
Gatorade. Yeah. Anyway. Socials.
Yeah, get around it. Look at our shirt. I think, what's it at now? $55.05. My lovely brother keeps on adding 5 cents. So anyone that, even if you put on a thing, don't worry. My brother will put 5 cents on top of that.
I'm going to go to $60 right now and buy it to myself.
Yeah, his missus is not happy about it. But I said if he wants to be that kind of guy and put 5 cents on top of anything, he better pay up.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Liv's going to come and
Karate
chop. Yeah,
yeah.
So...
I've got your back.
Yeah. Have you put your hand through a board or something?
Yes.
I love that. That's cool. Yeah, so get on our socials. We're mainly on Insta, aren't we, Sean Tone?
Yeah, mainly Insta.
Yeah,
Facebook's good too.
Facebook, yeah.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Share it. Get around us. Thank you so much, Liv. It's been so good. I think we would love to have you back again. It was fantastic. Really good time.
Love to be on.
Sure.